Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Life of a Business Manager podcast. Apologies for the delay in this part two episode, but this is the podcast where we break down the real world skills every business manager needs to succeed. I'm your host, Sina Chan, and in today's episode, we're continuing our two-part series on how to get started with creating your own podcast in 2026. I hope everyone enjoyed part one episode, and if you haven't listened to it yet, please click the download to listen. This is part two, which is to launch and grow your podcast in 2026, record, publish, promote, and get listeners fast. In this part two episode, we're going to talk about how to record and edit using AI tools, how to create your podcast branding, how to publish and distribute your podcast, and how to promote your podcast like a business manager. Let's get to the episode. Okay, everyone, let's get started with the first segment, which is to record and edit using AI tools in this part two series. So this is really where 2026 can change the game if you are starting a podcast. AI is basically your new editing partner. These are tools out there that can actually handle a lot of the heavy lifting when you're doing a podcast. And I wanted to just kind of give you a breakdown of the four that I'm going to mention. So the AI tools that make podcasting easier in 2026 are Descript, Adobe, Riverside AI, and Opus Clip. So those are the four that we're going to talk about. Again, there are so many AI tools out there that you can use. These are just the ones that I've done some research on and I've used. And so this is what I recommend. But obviously, do your research. So the first AI tool is called Descript. So with Descript, you can edit audio by editing text, just like in a Word document. You can delete words and the audio is automatically gone. You can automatically remove filler words such as and which I have quite a lot, so I have to typically use it. And you can generate transcripts and captions. And it's also great for tightening your episodes and pulling clips very quickly. So that's the first AI tool. The second AI tool is Adobe Podcast. So Adobe Podcast instantly cleans up your audio and removes background noise, which makes your recording can sound like studio quality, even from a home office. Also with Adobe Podcast, it's super simple. There's no technical setup and no audio experience needed. Adobe Podcast is kind of like your go-to quick audio cleanup. And if you've ever recorded in a less than perfect space, like for me, home office, a spare room, a closet, wherever it is, this tool can instantly help you with your podcast editing. The third AI tool is Riverside AI. So Riverside AI, I have a personal experience with this because I use this for my podcast recording and my editing. So it's what I use to record interviews, my solo episodes, and it also records high quality audio and video on your device. So even if you're someone that is not that great with technical and expertise in recording, Riverside AI is pretty easy to use from my experience. And the final recording still sounds great. So this AI tool records high quality audio and video locally for each guest. It prevents any bad Wi-Fi from ruining any of your interviews. And it's an AI that helps with transcripts, clips, and show notes. It's really ideal for someone like me where my podcasts are mainly audio. So it's ideal for remote podcast interviews. The last AI tool is Opus Clip. So Opus Clip turns your long podcast episodes into short social media clips. So it's really helpful with that if you're looking to expand your social media and post your podcast in all different types of tools, and it automatically finds the best moments for you. It will also add captions and formats for your TikToks, your Reels, and also your YouTube Shorts. So it's great for all of those types of clips. It's a huge time saver for podcast marketing and if you're looking for growth. So those are the AI tools that I use as a busy business manager. Again, there's so many out there, but these aren't just nice to have. They actually save you hours of editing and recording. And you need to find the right tool that works for you because you don't want to spend so much time podcasting. You're trying to put out good content out there, but also make sure that you use your time wisely. So those are the tools that I would use if you are going to start a podcast in 2026. Okay, everyone, let's go to this next segment, which is to create your podcast branding. So let's just talk about branding for a second, because this is how your podcast really starts to stand out. And with branding, it's more than just having your branding look cute. It's your podcast name, it's your cover art, your colors, your tagline, and even your intro and your outro music. all of that works together in order to give your show a certain vibe. And it's something that people can recognize the second that your show pops up in their feed. The good news is in 2026, it's way easier to start your podcast, and there's so many tools out there that can help you with branding. So, we're going to start with the design branding tools, and then we'll go into the audio branding tool. So, the first design branding tool that I've used and I still use is Canva. So, I'm sure some of you have heard or have used Canva before. But Canva, you can actually make your cover art, your logos, your social promos, and there's so many templates out there that they have available, and you could use it for free. Now, obviously, with any type of tool, if you want a little bit more, then you have to pay. But there is a free membership that you can sign up for that will help you get started with your branding of your podcast. The second tool is Adobe Express and Firefly. So, Adobe tools give you powerful templates, and they have AI generated graphics that will help feel more polished and more professional. So it's perfect if you want your podcast visuals to look more like they came from like a design studio. For me, I was okay using Canva, but it's up to you and your preference. The third branding tool is called Love Art. So this is an all-in-one brand kit builder. So for new podcasters and newer to certain tools, this is an easy way to spin up your whole brand kit. They do the logo, the color palettes, the banners, all in one for you. So it's an all-in-one stop shop. And, I recommend it because I've done my research. I haven't personally used it, but I do recommend any type of all-in-one brand. It just makes things easier. Okay, let's go into the audio branding and editing tool. The first one is Adobe Podcast. So Adobe Podcast can help you record and polish your audio, but also gives you the ability to create branded audio elements like consistent intros, outros, and even music transition. The second tool is called 11 Labs. I don't know if anyone's heard of that. It's an AI tool, voice generator, and it's great for like signature voice for some of your episodes, for promos, announcements, and like narrative segments. This tool gives you more of a realistic AI voice covers that kind of fits your brand. So that can help your audio branding. The third tool is royalty-free music libraries. The reason why I brought this up is because you can build in music collections and audio editors to help with your intro and outro tracks and theme music to help the show and the feel of your podcast. I've actually used this, so I do recommend that. So these are some of the tools that will help you with branding your podcast. And the reason why these tools matter is because instead of starting from scratch, these tools will help you keep a consistent feel and look across your episodes. And it will also produce professional visuals and audios for you without any type of design experience. And this is perfect for anyone looking to get started, but also start small with creating a podcast in 2026. Okay, everyone, let's talk about publishing and distributing your podcast. So once your podcast is ready and it's time to hit the publish button, in 2026, some of the top podcast hosting platforms include Spotify for podcasters, Buzzsprout, and Podbean. And the great thing about these platforms is that they automatically distribute your show to all the big channels such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and even YouTube Podcasts. So the first tool is called Spotify for Podcasters. So this was formerly Anchor. So for this tool, there is a free hosting. There's no monthly fee. It's unlimited storage and episode. It's great for beginners, in my opinion. Some of the benefits is, besides it being 100% free, it's great for beginners testing out the waters to see if you actually want to continue podcasting. The second thing is it's a native integration with Spotify, meaning your show is published instantly in Spotify. The third is it includes basic analytics and audience engagement tools. So it helps with that as far as engaging some of the audience that's listening to you. It also supports audio and video podcast uploads directly. And there is a built-in monetization tools, ad program, and listener subscription. So obviously, if you're eligible. Some of the limitations with Spotify for podcasters is the analytics are more generic, they're more basic compared to other paid platform hosts. And also the monetization revenue has a higher platform share. The split isn't as reasonable as I think it is. With Spotify for podcasters, it's best for beginners, no budget podcasters, and those that are focused mainly on Spotify audience. Just keep that in mind. The second podcast platform hosting tool is Buzzsprout. So with Buzzsprout, there is a free plan. but there's 2 hours of uploads per month. So there's a limitation there. With their paid plan, some of the pricing start from $12 a month, which is 3 hours of uploads, $18 a month, which is 6 hours of upload. And then there's a $24 per month, which is 12 hours for more storage and more features. So some of the benefit for Buzzsprout, and just to be honest with everyone, I actually use Buzzsprout and I've been using it. And I started out as a free plan and then I decided to do the $12 per month. So that's my plan. I just wanted to put it out there that I do use them. And it's been great. And some of the benefits with Buzzsprout is it's easy, beginner-friendly dashboard and a smooth onboarding in their tool. And it also integrates with all of the major podcast directories. So you can post your podcast throughout YouTube, Spotify, Apple. But with Buzzsprout, there's advanced analytics, there's magic mastering, which helps with removing filler words or editing the audio improvement. And then there's also a fan support tools and Buzzsprout ads that's available if you are eligible. So those are the benefits with Buzzsprout. Some of the limitations are upload limits based on obviously if you're on a free plan or a paid plan. There's a free tier auto delete episodes after 90 days. So if you are on a free plan, and this is the reason why I had to go on the paid plan, it's because I didn't want mine to auto delete after 90 days. And there's no built-in private podcast feed. So those are some of the limitations. This is best also for beginners and small shows like mine, where you just want like an intuitive platform in order to just attract the right audience. The third podcast platform is called Podbean. So with Podbean, it is a free option available with limited storage, obviously. There is a paid plan that starts at $14 per month for unlimited audio. And then there's another higher tier, which is around $29 to $39 per month, and it adds video support and advanced features. So some of the benefits with Podbean is unlimited audio storage and bandwidth on paid plans only, and it's great for frequent publishing. It also has a built-in monetization, ads, premium content, listener supports, and mobile app. And it also does video podcasting and live streaming support included. So with Podbean, it's a good tool for growth and audience engagement. Some of the limitations are the interface can feel a little bit dated and slightly less intuitive than Buzzsprout and maybe Spotify. With a higher tier plan, it does come with advanced analytics, but if you have a lower tier plan, then it doesn't have that. So if you are releasing an episode like 2 or 3 or 5 times a week, this is the best for you because there's unlimited hosting. So that's what I would recommend. For me, this doesn't work for me because I don't release that many episodes per week or per month. So it doesn't make sense for me to sign up for this. If you're doing this full time and you have the time in order to release that many episodes per week, I think this is the best option for you. So those are the 3 tools that I would use for podcast platforms if you are looking to create a podcast in 2026. Now, again, keep that in mind. Do your research. There's so many platforms out there, but these are the ones that I've researched, and one of them I use now to do my podcast. So that's what I would recommend, but completely up to you. Okay, everyone, now that you've learned to publish and distribute your podcast, let's talk about promoting your podcast like a business manager. Because honestly, this is everything when it comes to growing your podcast. And in 2026, there are a few things that can help you grow your podcast and promote for you. So let's go over them. So the first one is to repurpose your content. So turn your episodes into TikTok, Reels, and YouTube Shorts. Pull out a few good clips and share them on LinkedIn. Drop new episodes in your email newsletter so your audience know exactly when to tune in and where to find you. The second tip is collaboration. So collaborate with other podcasters, cross promote each other's shows, and this will help tap new audiences and also hold you accountable when it comes to growing your podcast. I think collaborating with everyone, and if you have people that reach out to you that want to be a guest, obviously collaborate what makes sense for you and what makes sense for your brand. So I highly recommend this. The third tip is SEO keywords. So I just started using SEO keywords in my descriptions, my show notes, my transcription, all of that. And I feel like there has been an improvement in attracting new audience, but also the search portion of it. I've noticed that the show has grown where I'm getting a lot more people contacting me in my emails, wanting to be guests. And then also I've noticed a lot more downloads with SEO keywords. So I definitely recommend do your research on the SEO keywords that work for you. Use them in your show notes so then you can attract new audience and grow your show. At the end of the day, just remember that your podcast isn't just a show, it's a whole brand of yourself. And every clip, every post, every piece of this content is just another chance for someone to listen to your story and what you have to say as a podcaster. So those are the tips that I recommend if you are starting a podcast in 2026. Alrighty, everyone. This wraps up our two-part series episode on how to create a podcast in 2026. Starting a podcast in 2026 doesn't have to be difficult and it doesn't have to be complicated. You just need some clarity within yourself, consistency, and the right tools to use. But whether you're a business manager like me or you have a different role and you want to build some influence to the audience out there, sharing your story, podcasting is the way to go. It's the highest ROI platform you can invest in. And I highly recommend if you have something to talk about or you're an expert at a certain subject, definitely create your own podcast, see how it goes, and you never know where it'll go. Again, thank you so much for tuning into Life of a Business Manager podcast. If you found today's episode helpful, share it with a family member, friends, colleague, whoever you are talking to that you feel might need some assistance with creating a podcast. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you have any questions about the role, suggestions for future topics, or stories of your own that you want to talk about, I'd love to hear from you. You can find my email in the show notes below. As always, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, bye everyone. Hi everyone. Just a reminder the content provided in our podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be construed as professional advice. Listeners are encouraged to consult with appropriate professionals before making any business decisions based on the information provided in this podcast. We do not endorse any products or services mentioned unless stated in any of our episodes. Thank you for listening.